The 2025 season kicks off under the lights here from Sydney Motorsport Park. Hello everybody, welcome to the 2025 Supercars Career Mode, where I am partnered alongside Brodie Kostecki at the Shell Power Racing Team, or DJR as well known as we kick off this season from Sydney here under the lights. An exciting race to kick off this 2025 season, and we're gonna jump straight into qualifying here in my fastest lap of qualifying. Now, as we're doing a slight format change, we'll be following the same point system that have now added a NASCAR style playoffs to the Supercars season, but we're only going to be doing one race every race weekend. We're not going to be doing like the 2 or 3 races that they do in Supercars and really confuse things. So it's going to be a pretty straightforward first race of our career here. I have made some AI changes just to make sure we have a smooth weekend, so we make sure everything is working well. So there won't be any pit stops in the first race, but race 2 and beyond we will be seeing pit stops, limited fuel capacity to force those pit stops going forward as well. So that's going to be exciting to see how that plays into these races. You're going to see a mix of 2025 liveries and 2024 liveries on the grid, at least today, because there's currently not all 2025 liveries available as mods for this Assetto Corsa mod itself, but here we are making our quickest qualifying time of the night now, and really struggled with this track early on in practice, but I basically got behind. It was Brock Feeney I got behind and was able to use him just as a reference and really start to find some speed and consistency around this racetrack now, as we continue out of the final turn down the front straightaway, get up through the gears, all 6 gears in this Mustang now as we head down the front stretch. Currently it was Will Brown on pole position, the defending champion of the series. We would go P17. And that's when I get to tell you the good news. That was actually not my fastest lap. That was just the kind of getting up and going lap. Here is the fastest lap now, and you want to break just right past that last marker on the right side, maybe a little bit before, as I do overshoot a little bit, get down to first gear, mainly getting down to first gear here just to get this car to rotate better. It just allows so much more rotation once you come up off the corner, and as well in the center of the corner. So that's, if you ever see me go down to first gear at this circuit, at least, it's simply because I'm looking for rotation, not necessarily just for a better exit, but of course more rotation is going to give me that better exit that I'm looking for. But just that lack of grip at some of these corners is going to be what you have to watch out for. This is a treacherous racetrack. Of course, if you go off, you're going into the grass, and you of course are not going to be making time, so there's not much forgiveness here except for the last couple of corners. You're going to notice as we come around here into the probably the most braking and more passing zone opportunistic corners on the circuit now, as definitely wouldn't be shocked if I make a move into that corner at some point. Here's the more forgiving part of the track right here. You're going to come up through the slight right-hander, but right here you can go wide. There's a bit of a runoff here, at least in Assetto Corsa, and you're going to see the AI utilizing that as well, as we'll go down to first, get that rotation, up through the gears again, down the front straightaway. Will Brown currently still out in front, but what is it going to be for us? We could get time for one more lap, but I wouldn't be able to find any more time in it, but we go P5. How about that? Very happy with my debut lap with this team. My teammate Brodie Kostecki, I was a bit surprised by how far down the order he was, but on his final lap of qualifying, he goes from a mid-teens running position, and here he comes to the line. What is it going to be for Kostecki? To the line, he goes P3, knocks us down to the 6th position. Will Brown, Matt Payne, Brodie Kostecki, the top 3 fellow rookies. Kai Allen in 7th position there. How about Cooper Murray in P9 as well, as we get ready for our first race of this 2025 season. Cam Waters down in P19. Some work to do in his Monster Energy Ford Mustang. Nonetheless, we are ready to race here from Sydney Motorsport Park for round 1 of the 2025 Supercars season. Lights out, we're racing. Defending champion Will Brown will lead us, as well as Matt Payne down towards turn 1. Kostecki immediately going to try and slide through into P2. We're side by side with as well Kai Allen, actually fellow rookie. Now contact actually between the 2 rookies. We go wide. Kostecki as well goes wide through the grass. He drops back down to P3. Brock Feeney showing the nose, not quite able to make a move. How about Andre Heimgartner up here in the mix? He picked up a win on home soil in New Zealand last season in the wet conditions. What a drive it was from Heimgartner. Now as we continue fighting alongside Kai Allen, we take the position now and we'll roll up to the back of Heimgartner. How about just behind us I can see Thomas Randall trying to move forward as well. There's Cooper Murray and he's trying to work his way forward. Still looking for a 2025 livery for that team as well, and for many teams. Red Bull has the 25 liveries. We got the 25 liveries as well for the team that we are with of course DJR, as we are all over the back of Heimgartner, who right off the bat in the first of 20 laps appears to be lacking some speed, as well. Changing the AI ratings is something I'm going to be doing probably a bit in the first few episodes. You guys can maybe help me with that if you watch Supercars and say, hey, this guy should be running a little bit better, but the system is really finicky. So I gave Will Brown, for example, has a 95 rating. Originally, I gave the worst driver in the field an 80, a 15 overall difference. I didn't think that would be too dramatic or too drastic, but there was about a 10-second difference every single lap. That's insane. So basically now Will Brown's at a 95 and I've got like the worst drivers at like an 89, and we'll see how that changes things today now, as just one overall difference seems to make a huge difference now, as there's the opportunity to pass Heimgartner on the run towards turn 2, heavy braking zone into the top 5. A great start for a rookie campaign as a 2025 Supercars driver now, as you'll be getting an episode every, I guess only probably once a month for the most part, because of course Supercars only goes pretty well once a month, which is really annoying as we continue on. As you can see, Kostecki actually going through into P2, passing Matt Payne. Matt Payne with a great qualifying effort, a great run, and he's definitely outperforming what his rating is set at here from Sydney Motorsport Park now, as we will just maintain this top 5 position now coming to the end of lap 2. And I can see Thomas Randall is moving his way forward. He got past Kai Allen and now has an opportunity to maybe pass Heimgartner in the coming laps as well, and maybe this lap in the mirror I can see him making a move up the inside of Heimgartner. He wants that 5th position, or P6, and he wants to put Heimgartner down to P7. Can he make it happen now, as I'm just trying to stretch out the gap to those guys? I think Randall might be quicker than myself, so I want to of course let those two fight and just try to drive away as quickly as I possibly can here. Now Brock Feeney stuck right now behind Matt Payne, not having much luck getting around him like Brodie Kostecki had just a few moments ago. Kostecki, my teammate here, as we do replace Will Davison on this team, and there's the move. Thomas Randall going for it now. Wide goes Heimgartner, and Thomas Randall moving through into the top 6 now as he completes the overtake on Andre Heimgartner, as we continue to now kind of be mindful of that. We're just over 2 seconds the advantage on Thomas Randall, and you can see the gap cuts down to 1.5, 1.6 seconds. So Randall's quicker than I am. He is running me down as we start lap 4 of this race. So a bit of a concern, of course, with the pace that he has found in his Castrol Edge Ford Mustang, and currently still Kai Allen in P8. Fastest lap, Will Brown with a 132 flat. Great lap by him there. Now as I'm slipping and sliding, going out of first gear on the exit of the corner there, and now as we come towards the end of lap 4, and Randall has gained an immense amount of time on myself. He is now putting some pressure on us. It's not going to be long until he's probably going to be making a move. The question is, where will he be making a move as we come through to lap 5 now? And at this point I was getting a lot more comfortable with the car, with the track, and honestly having a blast racing this circuit. So many Supercars tracks are just fantastic, and Supercars obviously so similar to NASCAR now. Of course there's still serious differences, but it's more close than it's ever been to the NASCAR Cup Series cars in the next gen, and I would love to see NASCAR try some of these road courses over here, because Australia has some incredible road courses. Now as here comes Thomas Randall, he's going to show the nose in a turn 1, wasting no time up the inside as we roll through the exit of 1, and there he goes. He takes the position. Randall into the top 5. Will Brown continues to lead as nearly into the back right there of Randall again, and actually might have gotten a flat spot just about on one of my front tires as we continue to watch him drive off. He might even have pace to go up towards the top 3 here. Now as I kind of follow him off the track a little bit now, and you can see he's opening up the gap over the course of these laps now, coming to the end of lap 6, and we've got a 3-second advantage over Heimgartner. He's not really closing in. He's actually starting to drop off a little bit now towards as well Kai Allen again, and Chaz Mostert is in that grouping back there. He's trying to move his way forward. Now, to my surprise, Randall has a bit of a lockup right here on lap 7. That opens up the door of opportunity again to kind of keep the pressure on the back of that Castrol Ford Mustang and see if I can maybe set up a move at some point here, or at least maintain with him and keep that pressure on him till late in this race. And I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just trying to get through this first race. Of course, raced with these supercars before, but it's been a while, so I just wanted to make sure I kind of got the first race under my belt and had everything working with the AI and as well for myself, and we have seemed to pretty well gotten that down pretty well, I would say. I think the only difference, or the only changes I'll make, is maybe AI aggression be higher, so they might force moves a little bit more, and outside of that, maybe making the skill a little bit closer, because if you look at the track map, you can see there's still quite a bit of spread, only with the 6 overall difference being the biggest overall difference between the best driver and the worst driver on the grid. Nonetheless, Thomas Randall putting up a great effort in his Castrol machine as I continue to just, well, quite simply try to maintain with them now. As you can see there, coming to lap 10 of this race, Will Brown out in front, comfortably in front of everybody, as we can see Brodie Kostecki chasing him in the background, but there's a very large gap between first and second place. Of course, Kostecki, previous champion of the series, Will Brown, defending champion of the series, Brock Feeney still wanting to get that first championship. Now you see Heimgartner, he's continuing to drop back towards these guys, Kai Allen and Chaz Mostert trying to move his way forward now as we continue on, and you see the rest of this field really just blasting all these liveries on the racetrack. And of course, some roster moves this season. How about Cam Waters? He qualified pretty bad. He's not really been putting on a great race. It is difficult to pass at this racetrack, I have noticed, so I wasn't surprised to see not a whole lot of track position shuffling throughout this race now as we continue to try and run down that Tickford Racing number 55, driven by Thomas Randall, who's of course another driver looking for a first championship in Supercars. Could this be the year for him? Doubtful, to be honest, when you're going up against the likes of a Will Brown, a Brock Feeney, a Brodie Kostecki, who I think is now in machinery that he can very much be a championship contender in. Again, of course, his 2024 season was quite an interesting one. It didn't even start to begin with, and then of course it eventually got going again with Erebus, and it was interesting, that whole debacle, to say the least. And honestly, I'm glad that Kostecki has gotten into a position now to where he might be able to have a solid foundation, solid team to support him, and hopefully a lot of success coming his direction. Now, as his teammate in the career mode, I do not like him right now because he is making me look bad. We're down here in P6, but as a rookie, honestly, I think we're having a great run here now, past the halfway point in this race now, and we continue to just try and keep the pressure on Randall. And I just didn't have enough speed in a lot of this race, it felt like, to be able to do exactly what I wanted. So it was more about just trying to remain within reach of some of these guys, and we're doing exactly that right now, as Randall, he's not even able to fully pull out a second on us, so we're able to kind of just keep him simply close. As you can see, lap 14, we have actually reeled him back in, and now things start to change a little bit. You can see Randall and myself are both running down Brock Feeney and Matt Payne as I nearly smash into the concrete barrier there, but clearly it seems like Payne is still struggling for pace, and he's backing up Brock Feeney to myself and Thomas Randall. So as we come to lap 15 of this race, first race of the season under the lights from Sydney Motorsport Park. Now, what a beautiful venue this is, as we continue on towards turn number 1 and realize, okay, if this plays out the way we wanted to, we could find ourselves fighting again for top 5, but maybe even 4th, as well as 3rd place here. Now, as we go into that braking zone, this braking zone specifically into the hairpin is a great opportunity to gain some time for myself, I've noticed throughout this race now. But Randall is now connected with Feeney and Payne as we come through towards 5 laps to go in this race, and now I'm just trying to get a little bit closer. We need just, another half a second of gain, and we're going to be right there in the conversation as well. Really losing that back end there, just slipping and sliding around, trying to make up as much time as we can, and I would say we are very much involved in this now. Again, a mistake as these tires wear. I find that specific corner right there to be a bit more difficult for me as the laps go on, and we're, you know, gaining time, and then we're losing a bit in that corner, and then we're trying to find a way to gain it back as the lap progresses here now. As you can see, again, not a lot of movement in front of us, but speaking of movement, right now there's a bit of a battle brewing behind us between Andre Heimgartner, Kai Allen, as well as Chaz Mostert here as we continue right to the back, nearly into the back there of Randall. We finally get through that corner without much issue, and we almost got through it, you could say, too good, as we're approaching just 3 laps to go, and it's a 4-car battle for the final spot on the podium now. Brock Feeney, what can he do? It'd be a bit of a surprise to see him lose out to the podium while his teammate of Will Brown leads the way, but 3 laps to go. We lose a bit of more time, but we gain it back into the braking zone, but the battles are brewing behind us. Chaz Mostert trying to go forward now. He's going to go maybe wheel to wheel here with Kai Allen. Never mind, that's Anton De Pasquale who wants into the mix in that number 18 DeWalt Camaro into towards turn 1. A new team for Pasquale this season, but hold on. Mostert sailed it up the inside of the rookie. Here he goes, wheel to wheel down towards the second corner. He's going to move through a position, say thank you very much. He'll put himself into the 8th spot as he'll try to run down Andre Heimgartner for the next spot now as we continue in P6. This 4-horse battle right now. 3 Fords versus the Camaro. The Chevrolet of Brock Feeney now, and hold on, the moves are not done. Here comes Chaz Mostert for more, looking for an overtake now on Andre Heimgartner. Mostert on a run on this lap, and this will put him through into P7 if he can complete the pass. Heimgartner goes wide. They continue wheel to wheel. He's not going to make it easy now for Mostert. On the run through the left-hander though, the pass will be complete, and Chaz Mostert goes through into P7. Andre Heimgartner drops down to the 8th position now as we continue on this battle of our own again, coming to the final lap. 2 laps to go. We're looking for a move up the inside now of Thomas Randall. We followed him for the entire lap and finally get an opportunity. He gets a good exit, but it goes wide. He lifts near contact right there with the Castrol Ford Mustang. Side by side as we go through the right-hander, the sweeping bend. It's going to get close quarters racing. Randall backs out of it. We go wide though now as we roll through the final turn, and we're wide through the whole way. Here comes Randall again. Back up the inside clear, looking for the switchback. 1 lap of racing to go in our debut in Supercars. It's Brown, Kostecki, Payne, the top 3. It's drag racing down the front straightaway, side by side, door to door. Got half a car width up the inside of Randall, or car length I should say, as we roll through 1 wheel to wheel. Great racing. Randall goes wide into the grass. We clear him on the exit of turn 1. We take the position. Is that it? Is that all we needed to retake P5 and earn a top 5 in our Supercars first race as a rookie here now, as we continue to try and run down Brock Feeney in these closing moments now, as it's going to be Will Brown in dominant effort exiting the final turn. What a drive from the Australian down the front straightaway. Defending champion is going to defend it the right way. He wins round 1 here from Sydney, as it's going to be a scrap. Feeney actually goes wide right there. He was trying to make a move on Matt Payne, and now, hello, we have an opportunity to maybe steal the 4th position now. Is this a little bit slow? Could we make an aggressive move? We're going to show the nose, but I wasn't quite aggressive enough right there. But hold on, Feeney wide. It's not quite over yet, but he goes wide again on the exit. Not going to be enough. He gets a good exit now. Now I'm as well still under pressure right there from Thomas Randall. It's going to be Brodie Kostecki finishing second. It says Fullwood, actually. He was just the next one across the line. He was a lap down. Brodie Kostecki, sure enough, P2, as it'll be Matt Payne holding on to 3rd. Feeney in 4th, sliding out of the final turn. It's going to be P5 in our Supercars debut. You really could not ask for a whole lot more than that. We will gladly take P5 over Thomas Randall, and yeah, very happy with that. Chaz Mostert as well will get up there into P7. Important to note, in the race results, there you see Kai Allen did get past Andre Heimgartner as well on the final lap. Anton De Pasquale rounding out the top 10 for this first race of the season. We're not going to show the points in race 1 because obviously where they finish is where they are in points for the first round. As you see, really the biggest surprise to me is probably Cam Waters, just a lack of speed compared to where his rating is for the season. I was quite surprised to see him running outside of the top 10. So he's definitely got some work to do. He's got some ground to make up, but that wraps it up for our first race of the 2025 Supercars Career Mode season. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below what you would maybe like to see done better, what you did like about this. And yeah, going forward, we'll see how the season goes on. We will start seeing pit stops in the next episode, so that's going to be an exciting one. But yeah, you'll be getting an episode to follow along every real-life race this season, following the real-life, of course, points format, where we will see that playoff kind of format come into effect, just like NASCAR uses. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day.